Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the School of Science. My name is Luke, and this is the post-match reaction for Everton versus Wolves. Everton nil, Wolves 1. Now, this is the most frustrating thing about it right now. We are not a bad team. Right now, we're missing about, I'd say, 3 to 4 key components for this squad to be near enough perfect for us in order to rebuild, get up a little bit more in the ladder, get ourselves around the mid-table to upper mid-table sort of thing. Like anywhere between, I'd say, 9th to 12th, 13th. I'd say that's fair, to be honest, based on the quality we actually have in the squad right now. I know a lot of people are very emotional about it at this point in time. They're basically calling for heads of people left, right, and centre. But right now, I think I'll probably say these are the 4 positions we need to fill right now. And this is even including, with the whole situation of, injured players. I would say right now we need another left back. We need someone who's going to fall in because Mikolenko isn't good enough for it. He's not Premier League standards, unfortunately. I think he might come good in the game eventually, but right now, at this point in time, he isn't good enough. Likewise with Patterson. Great going up, but coming back and tracking back, he's not good. He's championship at best. He's basically still in the Scottish Premier League sort of mindset of his tracking when it comes to actual defending. But going up, he's okay. He's got decent distribution. He can loft the ball. I can't complain about it in that regard. And another one being a striker. Youssef Chermiti, when he came on, for his 30 minutes that he was on, he was spot on. He was what we have been crying for a while. Unfortunately, he just wasn't getting the service that he was going to be able to utilise properly. He was messing around with the back line. He was really annoying Wolves' back line. And he had the speed, the pace, everything about him was perfect for what we needed. Just unfortunately, he wasn't getting the service in order to utilise it. I think if you were to give him the ball when he was asking for it, straight on the bat, he would have turned and he would have really smashed it into the back of the net. He was aching for it, absolutely aching for it. But as a whole, we're missing the components. It's like we're a Rolex watch that's missing 4 cogs right now. That's what we are. And I know a lot of people are going to turn around saying, "What the hell have you been smoking?" And all I can say to that is absolutely nothing. I am as clear as crystal. I am as clear as the water in this sparkling water bottle, which I know for a fact I have already triggered a few people who do not like the thought of sparkling water. So to that, I say, yeah. Overall, I would say the performance itself was a 7 out of 10. We transitioned from back to front seamlessly. We were getting the distribution going. We were quick. The only thing we are missing is the final product. And this is the same with the Fulham game. The Aston Villa game, we were absolute garbage, in all honesty. Our heads dropped the second they scored. We become sporadic. We weren't getting anything. So this game itself, we did dial things up. We were unfortunate not to score. The Wolves... The Wolves keeper decided he wants to become a prime Buffon for this one game, and more than likely, when we watch the next games after that, he's basically going to be the equivalent of Karius. But yeah, I'm going to put a little bit of structure in this real quick. So first off, as I said, great pressure. Branthwaite, absolutely solid. He barely put a foot wrong. I would have happily made him man of the match if this ends up being a 0-0 game, because he never put a foot wrong. Heads perfectly. He cuts in where Tarkowski, if he thought that Tarkowski wasn't able to get a ball quick enough, he was there and he was on top of it and he got it upfield. He did what the centre-back was meant to do and he did it flawlessly. Next game we play, he's in there. Absolutely. 100%. He is my starter pretty much from here on in. Now, I would be keen to try and look at maybe doing a back 3. So you have, say, Tarkowski, Godfrey, and Branthwaite. Maybe give the likes of Mikolenko and Patterson a go as wing-backs rather than full-on left-back and right-back. See how that goes for it and see how that plays out. Maybe experiment with that at Doncaster, see what happens, because in all honesty, we need to focus on the league this season rather than focusing on cups. We need to develop and try and build on this season. I would say Carabao Cup and FA Cup, I wouldn't even put the actual first 11 in. I mean, granted, against Doncaster, you could probably put the first 11 in, like your actual first 11, even maybe experiment with Youssef Chimiti, or even better when he gets confirmed, because apparently he is meant to be getting confirmed tonight or very early Monday. So he's going to come straight into the fold, and chances are he will be travelling with the squad, because Calvert-Lewin, I won't see him back until after the international break. Likewise with Jack Harrison, probably even the same with Alex Iwobi as well as McNeil. Once those guys are all fully fit again, we are going to be very much spoiled for choice when it comes to the top ends of the fields. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we end up having it so that you've got Jack Harrison on the left, McNeil on the right, get Iwobi as the number 10 maybe, give Zakori a rest, have them two alternate between each other, because Iwobi's on the last end of he's on the final year of his contract. We need to either sell him on or offer him something new. But right now, I would be more than willing to give Iwobi a chance at there, and then up top, maybe Calvert-Lewin, play him for say 30 foot, first half to 60 minutes, get Chimiti in or get Beto in, and let the pace of those two be utilised fully, because I think Iwobi, with him being a very quick player, you could more than likely utilise him as a number 10, because I don't see him doing too well as a right winger. Likewise with James Garner. James Garner doesn't really seem right for the right winger role. He likes to play inside of the park, and he likes to try and play off Idrissa Gueye. Whereas when he was playing over on the right and trying to feed off Nathan Patterson, it just wasn't doing it, unfortunately. But yeah, in regards to the likes of Dan Juma and Lewis Dobbin, those two, they played really well. The two of them were alternating. So in that game, they were basically alternating between left winger and striker. So you watch them swap and change quite freely on the regular. That was really good from them. They really did well. Sorry about that. I think Dobbin, he does need to build himself up a little bit more game time, and I think he would actually be another potential option as a left winger. So him and Jack Harrison will probably be fighting for that role. I'd say the only downside with Dobbin is he's easily bullied off the ball at the moment, and that's, as I said, lack of physicality. He hasn't got much in terms of, build in him. So I think bulk him up a little bit more, work on his pace as well as his physicality, and we've got ourselves a really good left winger who could become mainstay with the club. But yeah, overall, first half, we really played well. We had pretty much 90% of the ball throughout the entire game. Well, I can't say that in regards to possession, but 90% of the action was our action. We were dictating the play. And when it came to the second half, Ashley Young and Nathan Patterson didn't work well. They were starting to show holes of the defence, and Wolves were trying to capitalise on them. Young set pieces. This is why I think we need to look at a decent left back who's also decent at set play. Maybe even look at potentially doing that for a midfielder. So I'll be keen to see how Jack Harrison does as a set piece expert, because, well, actually McNeil's more of a set piece expert when it comes to free kicks, corners, and all that. The only downside with that is sometimes he does overshoot them a fair bit, likewise with what Damari Gray used to do. But overall, we need someone who is a set-piece expert. It's blatantly obvious, because corners were just getting fucking lofted into no man's land. No one was able to get onto them. And it's kind of painful, because a corner used to be one of our best options for scoring, especially back when I was growing up. I always remember the good old days when we had the likes of Tim Cahill, Mikel Arteta, Andy Johnson, Yakubu. Oh, the good old days. And what would normally happen is when we had a corner, Tim Cahill was always the one. He would tower up above everyone and nod it in. We're missing that now with Calvert-Lewin being out. So we definitely need to try and work on something right now, because that's one of our goal options just gone awry. But yeah, they did well going forward, don't get me wrong. Ashley Young and Nathan Patterson, they did okay going forward, but tracking back was absolutely dreadful, and the marking as well. And like I said, Wolves, their keeper was he was top draw on that game yesterday, unfortunately. And I don't know how he was able to stop Decore's little fumble in, but you got to give him credit. He was able to defy the laws of physics, and as he was going backwards, he was able to push forward just enough so he could tip his glove onto the ball and put it over the bar. How he did that, I do not know at all, but hey, props to him. But yeah, again, this is a game that we should have really have walked away with a win. Unfortunately, we lost. We didn't score. So that's now 3 games on the bounce where we failed to score, and I think we're the only team in the English professional football sort of mark. How can I put it? In the league. That's the best way to probably put it. So from your Premier League all the way down to League 2, that we're the only team not to have scored. And I think it's even further down. And it does raise a few red flags. So now with Beto going in, is he going to be the replacement that we need? Is he going to be the outlet that we're going to need? I don't know yet. I've seen a lot of footage of him. He's a very physical centre forward. He likes to bully defenders. That's really good to see. Will it pull off in the Prem? Because we know what the Premier League's like. Players, they just don't seem to, they don't like getting manhandled. So is he going to be giving away quite a few fouls there? I'm not too sure. I mean, to be honest, while Calvert-Lewin's out, I'd be very tempted to try a 4-4-2 formation where we've got Beto and Chimiti. And maybe put it in a sense where Chimiti almost acts like a false 9 and sits behind Beto and becomes his outlet. So we pretty much bring the ball from back to front and he becomes the outlet for it. And Beto is able to take off the defenders and have a crack. There's many opportunities for us here with these sort of players in. Yes, right now we are a club in crisis, but it's still very early days. I think if we haven't racked up a win before the international break, I think alarm bells should be ringing and there needs to be a massive reform. And I know a lot of the fans right now, they are calling for Ken Wright's head. And I'll be honest, I'm not going to turn around and say, oh, no, that's not me, though. We got to give them time and all that. I want Ken Wright's head as well. I would love to have her on a fucking pike right now because he has been the tumor in the club that is killing it so slowly. We need to cut that fucking tumor out and get some... You know what? Not even get another chairman. Remove the chairman role and have it down to the owner. Now, granted, that's Mashiri at the moment, which isn't really a good thing. But I'll tell you something right now. Ken Wright, he likes to say that he loves the club and he wants to do what's best for the club. But he's really not doing the best for the club right now. We went from being one of the pinnacle of English teams to basically almost relegation fodder. It's been a really horrible decline that we've been in, and I just can't see things getting better in the short term whilst he's there. We really need to try and... He needs to get out of the club, in all honesty. If they want to give him a ceremonial role, great, give him a ceremonial role. But for the love of God, if you love the club, Bill, step down, back away, and just, become a regular fan like everyone else. But yeah, guys, that was... I want to try and put this in an optimistic sort of way. I cannot be doom and gloom because I don't like being doom and gloom. And seeing negativity really doesn't... It grinds me gears being negative. We need to try and look at the good things and try and build with the good things. Yes, we have got bad things right now in the club, being that we're not scoring. We're basically... Right now, we couldn't score in the brothel, but we need to work on that. We need to find some way to fix that. And complaining and whinging about it isn't going to fix it. But in any case, guys, I would like to thank you all very much for watching. I hope you guys have a lovely bank holiday and enjoy the short week because... Oh, wait, we're playing Doncaster, aren't we? So that one, I believe, is Wednesday? Yeah, I think it is. It's Wednesday, isn't it? It's Wednesday the 30th. But yeah, if anyone's going to that game, safe travels. Hopefully we get a win. But as I said, up the fucking toffees. Have a great week and peace.